Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to be going over with you guys the 10 designer fragrances that I would keep if I could only keep 10 for summer. So basically, these are the fragrances, at least as of right this moment, that I would keep if, my wife came in here out of her mind with a baseball bat and said, I'm going to smash all these fragrances. But first, I'll go ahead and maybe pick 10 for summer designers. Or maybe just a crack SWAT team who hates fragrances bursts in here and they're like, I'm going to smash up all this stuff because I can't stand fragrance, but I'm a fair man. Go ahead and pick 10. Keep them. Neither one of those situations makes sense, so in reality, this video doesn't make sense. But let's jump into it anyway. So like I said, guys, designers only this time. No niche fragrances here. And these are the ones, as of this video, as of this moment, that I would pick. But honestly, you could catch me tomorrow and say, hey, do you still stand by that 10? And I would say, yeah, except maybe this one I'd switch out. You know how it is. If you get a lot of stuff, depending on your mood, your tastes change a little bit. All right. First fragrances, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna put this together as one entry. So already, we're not necessarily playing by the rules. Tom Ford, Costa Azzurra, Tom Ford, Mandarino di Amalfi. Now, Costa Azzurra has been re-released in the signature line by Tom Ford. So if we can't include private blend fragrances, I would say Costa Azzurra, just the signature blend line, okay? If we can include private blend, we'll go Mandarino di Amalfi. How's that? Between these two fragrances, Mandarino di Amalfi is the easier one to wear. It's the more likable one, I guess you could say. It's a little more standard, maybe, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's got citrus, it smells very clean, it has white florals. It's a great vacation, warm weather kind of scent, tropical getaway or going to the beach or, things like that. Mandarino di Amalfi is a better fit. Costa Azzurra is a little more out there, you could say, as far as warm weather citrus type scents go. You would look at this bottle, this blue bottle, and think, yeah, it's just gonna be water and maybe a little bit of green in there, some citrus, and that's probably just about it, right? Well, not exactly. It's got oud, it has seaweed, so it's got notes that maybe you wouldn't typically think of in a summertime fragrance. I really like it though. That oud, that seaweed, the juniper in here, everything combines together to give this one a real edge. It sets it apart from most summertime scents. So both of these make this list, but if I can't include this one because it's a private blend and some people out there would say, oh, that's more niche-like, then we'll go Costa Azzurra, just the re-released version. Okay, that's the only time that there's gonna be something that's got a big caveat with it. So moving on, we've got this one, Versace Pour Homme. Lemon, neroli, bergamot, cedar, and tonka are some of the notes in this fragrance. And this one has been a summertime staple of mine for years and years and years. Maybe I don't wear it as much as I used to. Actually, I definitely don't wear it as much as I used to. But I've got a lot of good memories with this fragrance, so that's why I'm keeping it. Wanted to, in the simplest of ways, the simplest of forms of breaking this down, you could say that it's like Chanel Allure Homme Sport, only way cheaper. They're not the exact same though. Chanel Allure Homme Sport, that one's gonna be a little creamier. The tonka stands out more. This one is fresher overall, for me anyway. And so in high heat situations, I would actually prefer to reach for this one over the Chanel. Yes, I know the Chanel has its proponents, people that say the quality there is so much higher than the Versace, but this one was my go-to for so long. So this one is what I'm rolling with. Next up, we've got a Christian Dior. It is Dior Homme Cologne. This, in the extreme heat, one of the best designer fragrances you can reach for because it is ultra refreshing. Bergamot, grapefruit blossom, and musk, some of the notes in this fragrance. No, it's not really complex. There's not this enormous change with nuances popping in and out for the connoisseur. No, it's just made to smell fresh, clean, a little bit sweet, and enticing. At least when you can smell it. Enticing when you can smell it. The performance, Not good, not good. We'll leave it there, not good. That could be a good thing, you know, if you look at the bright side of life, because that means you can spray it on as much as you want. You don't have to worry about overspraying. You want to spray 50 times? Spray 50 times. Go for it. Yeah, the fragrance is expensive, and yeah, you'll run out of it really quickly, but, you know, live it up. This fragrance's DNA has been copied a few times with other fragrances on the market that smell pretty similar to this, especially the opening, but Dior Homme Cologne for me, this one is the one that I always go back to, even over the other fragrances that smell similar to it. This next one is going to end up being replaced by the newest fragrance in the line, but as of right now, I'm going with this one, Light Blue Eau Intense from Dolce Gabbana. This one has grapefruit, seawater, mandarin, and musk, along with some amberwood as some of the notes in the fragrance. It's a very sea salty, fresh take on Light Blue, a modernized version of the original. This one, to an extent, makes Light Blue Pour Homme, the original, obsolete. I know some people are still going to reach for that one, but I think that this does what that fragrance does, just better. As I mentioned, as time goes, I think Light Blue Forever is going to overtake this one, but for right now, we'll roll with Light Blue Eau Intense. Next up, we got this one, Artisan Pure from John Varvatos. This has a ton of citrus notes in it. Very clean, great fragrance for high heat situations, great fragrance for the office. You can wear this just about anywhere. Along with all those citrus notes, this also has woods and petitgrain, has kind of a white floral feel to it, and this one received a whole bunch of hype when it first came out, and I think it was warranted, especially at the times that you've been able to find this at discounters for like 40 bucks or so. It's a really solid fragrance in that price range, one of the absolute best for summertime. And even though it does have all that citrus in there, it doesn't come across too sweet. You know, it doesn't come across like a heavily synthetic fragrance with all that citrus, and sometimes citrus can. When it's not used very well, citrus can come across smelling like Lysol or has a very harsh edge to it. And you may be thinking, yeah, those are probably really cheap releases though. No, actually. There have been some major releases from big houses where the citrus just does not work. That one though, great. This next one is an amazing cheap fragrance if you love bergamot. It has a fantastic bergamot note. The only issue is the performance is not very good. But like Dior Homme Cologne, just spray it on heavily. Yeah, really heavily, actually. Difference though, is that where this one is cheap, you don't feel as bad about burning through the bottle all in one summer as you might with Dior Homme Cologne. It is Acqua di Bergamotto, and it's from Zegna. So on top of that bergamot, there are additional citrus notes, floral notes, and sea notes. So the price on this one at discounters as of this video, roughly around 25 bucks for a bottle. Not very much. And it smells really similar to this, Italian bergamot, same house. Basically, you could think of it as this is the more affordable, not quite as complex version of this. But a lot of people out there are not going to be able to tell much of a difference at all between the two. And it also has a little bit of a similarity to this one, Bergamotto Merino from Gianfranco Ferre, which is now discontinued. I really wish this had not been discontinued. This is an eau de cologne, doesn't last all that long, but smells so good. You used to be able to get this size bottle, 200 mils, for next to nothing. So yeah, you want a clean, aquatic bergamot fragrance with additional bits of citrus that doesn't cost that much, that smells fantastic, smells like a more expensive scent. Check this one out, though be prepared for that performance. Can't leave this one out. Acqua di Gio Profondo from Giorgio Armani next up on the list. Sea notes, citrus, rosemary, cypress, and mineral notes are some of the notes in the fragrance. And this one is one that I feel like, as of right now, is the best Acqua di Gio on the market. I know some people are gonna say Profumo, and that's cool. If you like Profumo more power to you. But for me, this is the one. If I could have only one Acqua di Gio right now, this is what I'm reaching for. And thankfully, my wife loves this fragrance as well, so anytime I reach for it, she's okay with that. So what you've got with this fragrance is the Acqua di Gio DNA, of course, given a little twist, a little bit of a green edge to it, not overly green, just a little sprinkling of green in there with the rosemary and the cypress, modernized and made easier to wear. Some people might knock that because it is, once again, Acqua di Gio, the best-selling men's fragrance ever. being given a little reworking, some tweaks on the engine, you could say. But Acqua di Gio works for a reason. People love it, super easy to wear, and that's what you're getting with that scent. Another cheapie, Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Colonia. Bergamot, water, clary sage, ambroxan, and lavender are some of the notes in this fragrance. Basically what you're getting here is a scent that's gonna get you close to Acqua di Parma Colonia, only way cheaper. It's got a green edge, once again. It's got a classic feel to it, classic masculine, so it's sophisticated, gentlemanly, a little bit more mature, but it does have a little youthful touch to it from this aquatic feel that it has also. A lot of people would describe this as a classic Italian cologne style fragrance, and by that, basically just what I said earlier, Acqua di Parma, it smells similar to that. This one, more so than a lot of fragrances in this list, is going to work fantastically in formal situations in high heat. So if you have one of those by chance, something like this is gonna work wonders. Also great for the office, great for casual wear, very versatile. Of the Acqua Essenziale line, that one is my overall favorite, and that is a line that thankfully you can typically find for next to nothing at discounters. We're in the final two. Next up, Prada L'Homme Low. Neroli, iris, powdery notes, and ginger are some of the notes in this fragrance. For a short time, I was reaching for Prada L'Homme Water Splash over this fragrance, but then I got kind of bored of that one. It's close to this one, it's close, but I got bored of that one, came back to this one. That fragrance, Water Splash, basically is just a lighter, fresher, more aquatic version of this. I feel like Prada L'Homme Low has a little bit more character to it, you could say. And also just really quickly, Prada, can you come out with a new fragrance, maybe? Been a while, going on 2 years now? So, where you been? No Prada L'Homme? No Prada Luna Rossa? What's the deal? Prada L'Homme Low is basically Prada L'Homme turned into a more of a summertime fragrance. Yeah, imagine that. It's fresher, a little bit brighter in the opening, and just a fantastic, highly versatile scent. Last up, and definitely not least, Terre d'Hermès Eau Très Fraîche from Hermès. Citrus, water, geranium, and woods, some of the notes in this scent. This one right here, kind of like Prada L'Homme Low, takes Terre d'Hermès and turns it into a warm weather scent. In doing so, they strip out a lot of the earthiness from Terre d'Hermès, that flint note, they strip a lot of that away. They give it more of an aquatic backbone and amp up the citrus. So instead of that earthy orange that you get in the opening of Terre d'Hermès, instead here you're greeted by a much cleaner version of the scent, retaining that vetiver as well, which is super important. Terre d'Hermès with no vetiver is not Terre d'Hermès. Get that out of here. No. And one thing that I love about this fragrance is that it enhances the versatility of Terre d'Hermès, which is already a versatile fragrance in my opinion. You can wear this basically anywhere. During spring, summer, honestly, year-round, you can wear this anywhere. It's got enough of a playful edge that any kind of casual situation is gonna work in, but it is classy enough that you can pull it off in formal situations too, or at the office. So Terre d'Hermès Eau Très Fraîche wraps up the 10 fragrances that are designers that I would keep for summer if I could only keep 10. And if somebody's coming in here smashing up all my stuff and only letting me keep 10 fragrances, what is wrong with you? You got problems. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all of your support. Stay safe out there. See you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.